It's an infestation. There he goes. He's right there. It's an infestation. There could be worse infestations. Morning, guys. Welcome back to Abernathy Farm. My name is David. This is a second video where I'm doing more of a vlog style. I don't really have anything specific planned. You're just gonna follow me around while I do stuff. I had a little bit of rain last night, about a quarter inch, which is better than none. Poured on the marigolds. There's onions in there too. They're not doing so hot. We got a few things planned today. I have today's Wednesday. Yesterday, me and my daughter and my mom and my stepdad went up to Spruce Pine, North Carolina. We hiked up the Linville Gorge and Linville Falls and stuff. Maybe I'll insert a little footage of that right here. But if I forgot to do that, use your imagination. But I'm gonna try to do that. Let's get down here and we're gonna let the chickens out. It's a chicken coop. There are 9 chickens living in here. There are 3 golden comets, 1 Americana, and 5 barred rocks. The BR5, that's what we call them. We're gonna let them out. They're in the garden. This is the garden. The deer have really been eating my okra tops. There's a watermelon. There's some tomatoes and some peppers, and then there's some corn over here. It's not looking so hot, but I don't have like a ton of time. Let's go see. We just checked the eggs yesterday. Let's go see what we got today. Run, girls, run! I gotta put a latch on here. I recently moved this. Ooh, look at there, 5. We'll get those later. I recently built and moved the extension. Built an extension here to move the layers. Y'all go outside and play. Staying here all day on your video games. The BR5, they're out. Y'all go. All right, let's see what else we can get into. Next on the list of stuff to do is move the cows. Ah, what a glorious sight. Cows down there in the field on a misty morning after a rain. Except for the giant high tension lines. Beautiful picture. Let's get these cows fed. Feed them a little grain. I bring them up here, put them in the stall there, feed them some grain, and I come out here and I'll let them into this field, and I'll let them in the other field down there. There you go. Hey, come on. And just like that, we're back up at the sawmill / construction site. Sometimes you just want to build just to be building. You got all this lumber. This is a vast acreage here. It won't hurt to have a little storage back here on the what we call Chigger Hill. So anyway, I got some logs ready to go on the mill. However, I possibly have a custom milling job tomorrow for a close neighbor friend of ours who's wanting to add a expansion onto his barn. Well, actually, he is adding an expansion onto his barn. And unfortunately for me, I mentioned I had a sawmill and could sawmill some lumber for him, and he messaged me over the weekend and was like, "Hey, you want to bring the sawmill some lumber?" So anyway, I texted him this morning to ask if he was still on for tomorrow, and I have not heard back from him. But if we are still on for tomorrow, before I leave here today, I will hook Blue to the sawmill. So my neighbor called and said he's not going to be able to do that sawmill tomorrow, so I had to get some stuff from the house. So I drove the truck back, drove the golf cart back, and since we're going to have a little bit more time, I'm not worried about that sawmill job. We're going to work on this some more. I've already pulled a string and I've got my measurement. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hang a board, and then I'm going to get the boards nice and square, and then I'll cut the excess from the post off of the top. It's not really square. It's the best I could do by myself with the auger I had. I need to get another stabilizer bar. It's my fault, but it's a couple inches out of square. We're gonna try to square it up at the top as most we could. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some boards up where I can hopefully get up there by myself and let the boards rest on these. I'll show you. Anyway, I'll show you. At this point in the program, you may or may not have gathered that I do not know what I'm doing, nor have I ever. So it's not a big deal. It's not like that one time I knew what I was doing and I've forgotten. So it's not like something that's bothering me. But I did have some measurements. I laid it out wrong. So anyway, it's gonna work. Well, my gap here was a little excessive, so I had to get the chain and the come along out. And I wasn't really wanting to permanently attach anything until I got everything up, but I'm gonna go ahead and put these lag bolts in on this end. And on these, the front's fine. This was the back. It was out like about 3 inches here on the back, so I had to come along and get together. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these lag bolts in and put the one on the front. All right, there's the basic frame. I still have to on this end, these sides. I've got galvanized bolts. Still got to drill and bolt that together, but I've got to get the long drill bit at the barn. I use it for fencing. Anyway, I'm gonna take a break, go get me some lunch. If I feel like it afterwards, I'll come back and we might work on these joists, roof rafters, joist purlins. Look what we got here. Well, our chickens are a little anxious this morning. Let's see if we can get him. This thing is a monster. And he's stuck right here. I got my knife. We may have to try to cut him out, but I'm not gonna be able to film. I got nowhere to set the camera up. Well, I got him. He was tangled up in that chicken. It's like a plastic, pretty good. I didn't do that to his mouth. His mouth's a little jacked up, but he's he's been eating good regardless. So we're gonna take him across the creek and let him go. None worse for the wear. And there he goes. He's a big old snake to have his mouth all jacked up like that. You can't tell from the top. He's back here in the pine trees. He'll be all right. Bye, buddy. Don't come back. We're gonna head back to the mill slash barn construction site. I had to go buy a drill bit. We're expecting some weather maybe coming in later, and I've only got screws holding it together, so I want to get everything bolted in place before we get any potential damaging winds. So me and my daughter came back up here yesterday, and we restacked this lumber that's going to be for the rafters, and I pulled the tractor in there to see if it was going to fit in between them, and it will. We're going to have like a foot overhang on each side, so I just want to keep the main. It's not for permanent tractor parking, but while I was back here, when I come back here, I wanted a place to park the tractors. You know, this is for storage, whatnot. So anyway, I wanted it big enough to fit the tractor in, but it's not. It's way in the back. I'm rambling. It's way in the back. It's not something I'm going to be using, you know, full time, and it's kind of, you know, for me to practice my building, which obviously I need a lot of practice. Bolts are just long enough. I planned it that way accidentally on purpose. So they're 6 inches long. This is a 3.5 inch post and a roughly 2-inch board, so 5.5 inches. Gives me a 1/2 inch to play with. They probably should have been like, these are 6s, 7s. You can't buy half lengths. You can't buy 6.5. This is number 3 out of 4. We got one more to do, and we'll be back. Well, that's gonna do it. It's starting to drizzle a little bit. I gotta get this stuff up, get out of here, but that's gonna do it for what we got going on. Tune in next time when I try to make joist, and we'll see how that goes. If you made it this far, appreciate it if you like the channel, subscribe to the video. We'll see you next time. Thanks.